Hello, everybody. Commissioner Creator here, and I am doing something a little different. I'm going to be reacting to the top 20 Savage Stewie Griffin insults. See, I started really liking Family Guy, so I really want to. So I thought it'd be fun to react to this. So let's see.
And today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 Savage Stewie Griffin insults. Your potato joke was terrible. For this list, we'll be looking at the most brutal slights, slanders, and jibes delivered by Stewie Griffin from Family Guy. If there's a diabolical insult delivered by this erudite infant that we forgot, make us rue the day in the comments.
Please never do
Number
that
20.
again.
Guess what? Meg Griffin is an easy target given how much the family picks on her, but she also makes it even easier by setting them up for jokes. When she arrives with the news that she's made the flag squad, Meg invites them to guess what she is.
It resulted in a broken back, weak group fist, and a broken prophylactic.
Stewie's suggestion that her existence is due to a broken piece of rubber may go unnoticed by the family, but it has us wincing at its savagery. His follow-up burn about Meg's luck with boys may not quite reach the heights or depths of his first insult, but at least Brian appreciates it.
You can be somewhere else when the boys do call.
Number 19, funny waiter. In typical Family Guy fashion, Chris going to space camp somehow ends up with the entire Griffin family getting launched into space.
Stewie, hold my hand. No, thank you. I prefer to die giving you the finger.
As Peter reveals what he'll miss about life on Earth, Stewie shares what he won't miss. Waiters who try to be funny. A cutaway gag shows Stewie ordering a salad with no onions, which the waiter agreeably makes a corny joke about. Stewie replies with a threat to the man's livelihood in the event he gives him onions.
I've got a few connections in the back. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, that's funny. If there's one onion on that salad, you can forget the $1.80 tip you need to live.
We understand Stewie's sentiment, but his remarks might make the waiter inclined to replace those onions with saliva.
Tell him bon appetit, douchebag.
Number 18, hot dog. Peter, being a moron, isn't new to anyone, but in this episode he's found to have an intellectual disability, although they use some slightly more outdated language to discuss it in the show.
Well, yeah, Brian, my test results. Read them and wait.
And after he pours hot grease all over Lois, Child Protective Service takes the Griffin children away to live with Cleveland. Rather than show he's a fit parent like Brian suggests, Peter hatches a scheme to show that Cleveland is unfit by bringing 7 sex workers to Cleveland's house. Although Cleveland and Child Services object, the latter more than the former, Stewie's jab at one of the older ladies of the night is downright vicious.
Now tell me, is there any tread left on the tires at all? Or at this point looking like throwing a hot dog down a hallway?
Number 17, Rupert's nicknames. After Brian tears up Stewie's teddy bear Rupert, Stewie resolves to scatter his stuffed friend's ashes from a mountaintop.
If he died first, I would scatter his ashes on a mountain.
Brian tags along to watch out for him, and an argument ensues, leading to Stewie falling and being unable to walk. Brian builds Stewie a stretcher and carries him the rest of the way, despite Stewie hurling insults at him the entire time. Some of these include nicknames that Rupert had for Brian, usually a play on famous dogs.
There's something other things he called you? That nasty. Scooby-Doo. Rin-tin twink. Poopy Snoopy.
To throw some of our own into the ring, Wishstone, Old Smeller, Air Dud, Booze Clues, and Marley, and anyone but me. Number 16.
Really
Gavin.
good.
Stewie doesn't have many friends his own age, and if this interaction is any indication, it's pretty clear why. Brian goes to pick Stewie up at a playdate, and we see Stewie simply sitting with the other boy, Gavin. By all indications, Stewie has spent the entire time insulting everything about the kid, from his name to his house.
You're really ugly when you grow up. And everything in your house is cheap. And it smells in here.
And yet, despite that apparent animosity, Stewie seems to have enjoyed his playdate.
Of course it would be like that. That's how Stewie is. I figured out Stewie for the few episodes I watched.
Seems to be lambasting everyone around him, so maybe it's not so strange. Number 15, game over. When Brian's cousin Jasper comes to visit, the family goes to dinner with him and his partner Ricardo. During the meal, Stewie repeatedly expresses derision for Jasper's stereotypical mannerisms.
much it for you, isn't it? I mean, you might as well pack it in. Game over.
In the immortal words of Bill Paxton, game over, man. Game over. Number 14.
Oh, so that's where they got that reference from. You know what? I can hear that reference so many times. I didn't even know what movie it was from.
First offers an excellent insult from the former.
Let's hope Osama bin Laden doesn't know show tunes.
After staying with his grandparents at their summer home in California, Stewie gets picked up by Brian. At the airport, Brian leaves to get smashed at the bar, leaving Stewie alone.
Wait here at the gate. I gotta run a quick errand.
Stewie is approached by a man who's concerned that he's too young to be traveling alone, but Stewie rebukes him with a comment about the man's choice in mouthwear.
Aren't you a little old to be wearing bracelets?
Don't talk to strangers, kids. And adults, don't talk to Stewie.
Yep. Oh man.
Number 13, Cake. Stewie
Cake?
is a talented singer and performer, as evidenced by the numerous musical numbers he's been a part of.
True.
However, his first theatrical performance in preschool is something of a disaster, and not just because of its subject matter. If you don't know who Terry Schiavo was, look her up.
Hi, Doctor. It's me, Michael Shiloh. How's my wife doing? She's a vegetable.
When it's Stewie's turn to go on stage, he gets stage fright and bursts into tears. It's clearly a traumatic experience for him, yet Brian is a jerk about it afterwards. Stewie's promise Brian's death.
Everybody gets stage fright. It's okay. You know, sometimes throughout all this stuff, we keep forgetting Stewie's still a
When
baby.
Stewie gets a new babysitter, LaDawn, he's instantly smitten. However, he's outraged when she comes over with her boyfriend, Jeremy. When LaDawn decides to put him to bed, Stewie steals Jeremy's hat and proceeds to go on an extended rant on the frat boys that Jeremy reminds him of.
Take that, Atlas! Now go back to the quad and resume your hacky sack tourney! I'm not gonna lie down for some frat boy bastard with his damn Tiva sandals!
The rant references everything from Tiva sandals to Taco Bell to the Simpsons song Mr. Plow. The tirade is so rapid fire and entertaining that we're won over, even if LaDawn isn't.
That is exactly the kind of idiot you see at Taco Bell at 1 in the morning!
Plus, it's almost as deadly as what Stewie ends up doing to Jeremy. Almost.
Oh my god, Jeremy's still in the trunk! Oh god, how long's it been? Let's see, two weeks. Yep, he's dead.
Number 11, Seth Green.
2 weeks!
In this very special episode, Peter retells the story of Return of the Jedi.
I mean, the work is much harder when you know the project is no good. Still, all those small paychecks must add up.
This version has Stewie playing Darth Vader, Chris as Luke, and their Grandpa Carter as the Emperor. The Emperor taunts Chris Skywalker by bringing up his voice actor, Seth Green, deriding his movie career to unleash his inner hatred.
You ever hear anyone say, hey, let's go see that new Austin Powers, Seth Green's in it? Not yet to be clear. You're talking about an actor who I happen to enjoy.
Later, during Chris's duel with Stewie Vader, Stewie brings up Green again. He also ridicules Green's career, particularly his supposedly low standards for projects, like the film Sex Drive.
I can always get Seth Green to like me. He'll do anything for money. I mean, did you see Sex Drive? Oh, of course you didn't. You're a person.
Well, to be fair, when was the last time you thought about that one? Number 10, fashion advice. Brian's birthday, besides consisting of some incredibly bizarre gifts, also leaves the dog thinking about his own mortality and his legacy.
Nothing interesting.
What was with the voice change?
Just a reminder that I'm now 1 year closer to death. Nothing to show for my time here. Can I get a vintage kit for my next birthday?
Well, maybe.
Tell about his friend, Stewie offers to help him write his biography, citing his previous experience helping Cleveland with his wardrobe as proof of his qualification.
Maybe I can lend you a hand, Brian. I'll help you write your biography. Really? You do that? Yes. After all, I helped Cleveland with his wardrobe.
A cutaway reveals that Stewie makes a remark to the Griffin family friend about the skinny jeans he's wearing not being for him, despite Stewie's love for him. This is soon followed up by Stewie's immediately shooting down their neighbor Joseph's attempt to pull off a vest with no shirt.
Hey, Cleveland, you know I love you, but those jeans, they ain't for you.
I knew it. I think I just needed to hear it. Thank you, Peter's baby.
Gotta be that.
Can we really believe Stewie's a fashion expert? He wears one outfit all the time. Number 9, lies.
Hey, but
An attempt by Lois to
I think we all know.
naturally.
Yeah, obviously you know some stuff about
Stewie
that.
finds milk from a bottle disgusting,
the man on the way.
See, I knew this. I saw that.
Get back in here, Peter!
After being
That's
separated
what I was
from
about to say. That dude is crazy. Sometimes I really don't know. Like, where the heck did his brain go?
That's the television. Yes, I think he recognizes the TV.
We're all thinking, and he just does it.
After returning home, Peter goes through the family's garbage bins like a raccoon, and Lois chases him away from them, only to wonder aloud who threw her sequin top in the trash.
Stewie then shouts from off screen that she should accept that she's 43 years old, with the obvious implication being that she can no longer pull off dressing like a younger woman.
Who threw out my sequin top?
You're 43, accept it.
Number 7. You albino gorilla. Stewie's older brother Chris isn't exactly the sharpest bulb in the box, with only Peter on a bad day coming close to his level of dopiness.
Well, look who it is. Chris Griffin.
Oh boy.
Hey, fat ass. Your boobs are bigger than your sister's. Oh, yeah? Well, you have a sister as well.
So when Chris finds himself outwitted by some jerks, Stewie takes an interest. The baby offers to teach Chris how to deliver better insults.
Hey, Chris, I wanted to talk about what happened at school. Is that a dead gerbil in there? That's a fur fish. It's a weird species. You put them in there and they swim like hell for like 30 seconds and then they go to sleep.
Even so, Chris's hypothetical jab at Stewie prompts a lightning-fast barb in response, in which Stewie calls Chris an albino gorilla and tells him to have another donut.
You really gotta stand up for yourself. Stewie, it's not so easy. What would you say if I said, hey there, shorty?
I'd say have another donut, you albino gorilla. Even when it's conjectural, Stewie
Yeah.
doesn't hold anything back.
Yeah, he
Number
is.
6. How to eat healthy. And this year's James Woods High homecoming king is Chris Griffin.
Yay!
Holy crap!
Couldn't believe it. Chris won. Far from the most popular kid at school, Chris somehow manages to become homecoming king. However, unbeknownst to him, his victory was only because his classmates voted for him out of pity or for a laugh.
I just see him walking around with his hands down his pants all day, and he's just so fat and weird, so we feel bad.
Despite Stewie and Brian trying to keep it a secret to spare Chris's feelings, his arrogant attitude gets on their nerves immediately. After Chris declares he'll be taking things from Stewie's room, Stewie calls out that there's a book on how to eat healthy that he can take, while also calling him a harsh word. It's a burn with a side of concern. A concern burn, if you will.
Now, would you excuse me? I shall...
Seriously, who is that other person? And never.
I wish to be mine.
There's a book in there on how to eat healthy. Number 5. White Trash Head. Everyone's the hero of their own story. At least they should be. A short entitled Point of Stew follows a day in the life of Stewie, with the camera acting as his point of view. And right from the moment he wakes up, the baby is delivering burns. When his mother changes his diaper and finds it dying, Stewie responds to her scolding by telling her to wipe it off and put it in her purse like the white trash hen she is. He then follows us up by pulling her hair and whispering that when he grows up, he will never visit her, and then she'll be nothing to him. Real, but dark.
That's so ridiculous. I'm gonna grab your hands while I grab stuff.
Okay, Stewie, let go. Let go, Stewie, let go of mommy there.
When I grow up, I'm never gonna switch and choose.
Dang it.
Look at the call you. I'm gonna be busy with my job and my family. You'll be nothing.
Number 4.
That is-
McConaughey.
Makes
Family
sense.
Guy has not been kind to actor Matthew McConaughey, and his cutaway gag of Stewie insulting him is especially cutting and funny.
All that effort for nothing. I'm trying to tell Matthew McConaughey how much he sucks.
Stewie repeatedly insults and berates McConaughey for being a terrible actor.
You know, Matthew, I may not ever get another chance to say this, so I just want to get this off my chest. You are just awful. You're one of the worst actors in the history of film.
While Stewie's barbs at the actor is just the worst, and his wish that McConaughey would get a heart attack are hilarious. Even funnier is the fact that McConaughey's famously chill demeanor remains throughout, and even he agrees with Stewie that his movies are terrible.
After that, everything else was awful. Contact, they didn't even need you in that movie. I know the movie without you.
I know, I said the same thing, but they were just like, oh, we need a good-looking guy with a great ass and some tight abs to just provide some down-home enthusiasm in this picture.
The kicker is that Stewie's last and most outlandish claim causes McConaughey to assert that nobody can prove it. We certainly wouldn't want any video evidence.
Truth of the matter is, I don't like my movies either, but man, they just keep offering me money and I do it, and I get to go around the world. I mean, did you see Sahara? About tell you what that movie gave me was an opportunity to take an Airstream all across the country and sell that picture one person at a time.
You suck donkey ass.
Now, you can't prove that.
Number 3, Felix Ungarish.
Okay, that was just weird.
I had to trust you. I had no choice. I needed you to protect me from the world, to be my guide, to help me navigate the difficult, confusing, and vulnerable journey to becoming a person. You have done none of those things.
The biggest target of ridicule on the show is easily the eldest Griffin child, Meg. And
True.
Stewie does not abstain from the tidal wave of mockery delivered at his sister.
As previously mentioned in the entry referencing this same episode, Peter is revealed to have an intellectual disability, which Meg worries will ruin her prospects for popularity at school.
I can't believe this is happening to me. I can never go back to school again.
However, Stewie shoots this down as a possibility, sarcastically citing her numerous failings, including comparing the way she clears her sinuses to Felix Unger from The Odd Couple. He rounds it out by claiming he might kill her later.
Oh, yes, Meg, yes, everything was going swimmingly for you until this. Yes, this is the thing that will ruin your reputation. Not your years of grotesque appearance or awkward social graces, or that Felix Ungarish way you clear your sinuses. No, it's this. Do you hear yourself talk? I might kill you tonight.
Sarcasm and death threats. Quite the
See,
summation of
this
Stewie's
was the first
character
clip that I watched of every day.
Brian's novel.
This is easily one of the most famous Stewie
I mean,
episodes, and it's
that
hard
moment.
to see why.
The moment in
I
the episode.
can't believe you're gonna be on the Bachelor ride.
Yeah, I thought you said the shows were stupid.
They are stupid. Well, I figure I got a few days of free booze and free food before they kick me off. I can use a vacation.
During an episode
Ha,
where Brian appears
of
on the
course.
TV show The Bachelor,
You know what they always
Stewie
say.
asks him several questions about a novel Brian has been working on for years, sarcastically prodding him about his lack of progress, while bringing down the structure of most stories as his voice gets higher and higher over time.
Oh, yes, because you've got such a heavy workload around here. How you coming on that novel you working on? Huh? Got a big stack of papers there? Got a nice little story you're working on there? A big novel you've been working on for 3 years?
Although the gag does run a bit long, this undeniably helps it be so memorable, and we would argue, helps make it funnier.
Nice little narrative, beginning, middle, and end. Some friends become enemies, some enemies become friends, yeah? At the end, your main character is richer for the experience, yeah? Yeah, you could, you deserve some time off.
Before we
Yeah.
continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell
I'm
to
sorry,
be notified
guys.
about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Like a Knife.
Close your purse, I can see your tampons. And why do you need 6? What happens to you?
Stewie's insults about Brian's creative efforts are some of the show's best, and this is one of the funniest and the most cutting. After Brian writes a play that proves a local hit, the success naturally goes to his head.
The American play was dying. Have we brought it back to life here? I can't say that, but it has a pulse.
You're such an amazing writer, Brian. How do you do it? What's your process?
Oh, God, Allison, how do I even answer that? I mean, what's a rainbow's process?
However, when Stewie asks him to read his own play, Brian is dismayed to learn that it's much better than his.
After going so far as to bury the play in the backyard, Stewie confronts him, lambasting Brian and his play for being mediocre and full of tired cliches and bad jokes.
I knew my play was good, just like I knew your play was a mediocre patchwork of hackneyed ideas and tired cliches. You have no idea how hard it was to sit in that theater with all those braying hyenas. Couldn't you tell something was up when Chris and the fat man could follow the plot? I mean, it took Peter a year to figure out Stuart Little.
He then drives it home by suggesting that
Stuart
every person
Little.
who laughs at Brian's terrible play should pierce his heart like a knife. Ouch.
Your play panders to the lowest common denominator, Brian, and it doesn't even do that well. Shut up. May every person that laughed at your sophomoric effort be a reminder of your eternal mediocrity and pierce your heart like a knife.
Did you
Yeah.
enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watchmojo.
Oh well, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Bye.